Are you accepting?
Okay. Hey, everybody. This is Paul Wong here. Welcome to our first ever satsang. You know, I've been wanting to do this for a while, just to share my journey with everybody. I think people are still joining here, so give me a minute or two. Okay, let's get started. I think some people are going to join, and they'll just have to watch the replay if they come in the middle. Hey, so welcome to the call. This is our first ever satsang, and I'm hoping that this will be a forum. If there's interest after this satsang, that this could be a forum for other discussion topics as well. So the topic that we're going to cover today for is about mantras. And this is, Sanskrit mantras and how it how how it how it could be a benefit to all of you here. Um, so so hey, I want to talk about these topics, right? These satsang topics is because of the last 15 years of learning energetics, healing arts, and then started going to India. Probably, my first trip to India was 2013, and then it just led to a lot of unfolding of my life. So a lot of you here are know me because of Chinese energetics. I have a YouTube channel. And then I got into Chinese energetics just for learning to heal myself. I was severely out of balance with life, and then I started healing. Started to learn different healing modalities. Probably in 20 probably in 2009, I started to learn about the Yuan method, body talk, EFT, vortex healing. I did a whole bunch of healing systems to try to solve my chronic issues and dealing with a family, a very significant family loss. So it wasn't just 2009 that I started learning this. I actually was learning like hypnotherapy, NLP way back in the late 90s. But I never used it as a healing modality. But that took me on a journey. Once I started suffering and started to go out of balance with life, and discover I have all kind of chronic issues, and things were just failing in life. So that's a little bit of a background story how I got into this, because many of you found me through the Chinese energetics, and know me from my healing work, and some of you may know me from trips to India or spending time with Amma, the saint, and yeah, it's just exciting. I just want to share my experiences with you, because for people that are also dealing with similar type of sufferings, you might have your own challenges you're dealing with, whether it's chronic issues, you're dealing with some type of loss or financial stress, or I don't know, whatever that you're dealing with that's causing you unhappiness, suffering, depression. That I'm hoping that what I could do here is just share what some of the nuggets of wisdom, some of the tips of this journey. This is not my typical group healing, but I think that the information here can be very helpful for people on the journey. And one thing I want to tell people here is I'm not here to be your spiritual teacher or a guru. I'm just here to maybe be a guide, or a person that shares some information, a messenger probably. So I'm not also with these practices. These are a lot of our personal practices that what we do. So some people may just see us doing either, some people may see us just doing individual sessions or group healings, and they may not see the background of what we do. This is our personal self-care practices that we do in between day to day. Okay, so today I want to just share about Sanskrit or mantras, or Sanskrit mantras, and how it has been really helpful for the healing journey. The first time I got a Sanskrit mantra is from a saint called the Hugging Saint. All right, so I'm going to try to pull up a picture of her so that you can see who I'm talking about. All right, so share the screen in a second here. All right, share the screen. All right, so there's some more people joining. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen here. All right, this is the Hugging Saint. All right, so she used to come to America every year between Memorial Weekend and probably sometime in her program. Her tour ends in like after July 4th ish. So she's so she's literally going around every city hugging thousands of people. All right, and I didn't actually, when I first saw her in like 2008, 2007 or 2008, yeah, maybe 2008, first met her, I just thought, this is crazy. People are like waiting in lines for hours, bowing down to her. I don't get this. I don't get this guru stuff. I don't want to do this guru stuff. So I just kind of put it off for years. And probably until 2012 was when I got my first hug from her. And I have to say that really shifted my life, like to this journey that I'm on. I wouldn't, if it didn't start with her with that hug. Every saint, when they give you a blessing, it's called a darshan. That means blessing. Okay, so she's like hugging like tens and thousands of people in the U.S. I think a lot of celebrities have gotten blessings from her, like Jim Carrey, Sharon Stone. So like thousands of people go see her. I went to her ashram, and she I don't know, it's just very, very transformative. I'll just say that like the first time I ever got a hug from her, I drove back from Detroit because her program was all night long. So I drove back from Detroit to Chicago. It's like because it didn't end until 7 in the morning. She's hugging people till 7 in the morning. So I probably drove back on probably I don't know, less than like 20 minutes of sleep. I had so much energy. All right. So this is a person known as a saint, a incarnation of the Divine Mother. Incarnation of like Kuan Yin was an incarnation, Lady Guadalupe was an incarnation of the Divine Mother, Mother Mary. So I got my first mantra. I didn't even know what a mantra was. I just somebody said, "Do you want a mantra?" I said, "Okay." But I started chanting it, and it was very energetic because I'm talking to like an energy healing, energetics group of people, the people that are interested in energetics. It was very energetic. So without even knowing what it is, what it means, I just did it and just see what happens. So why am I mentioning this to you? Is because if you want a personal mantra, I don't know when's the next time she's going to come to the States, but you can ask requests and she will give you a personal mantra. And she said that like different people will need different mantras based on your level of understanding, and everybody has a different mental understanding and their nature is different. So it's not a single one size mantra fits all. So I got a mantra from her, and I still chant it daily. I mean, I do other mantras more because the others resonate more with me. So if you want a mantra, you can like if you ever see her, if she comes to the States. We saw her in March in India. Her health is not as well as it used to be. So I don't know if she'll come back to the US for tour anymore. But and why am I talking about this, right? Because like I just have heard of endless miracles. People that say I've heard that people that their kids died or passed away, and supposedly medically claimed that the child died, but they went to see Amma, was crying, and then Amma said, "Hey, go back home right now," and the child came back to life. And people that had cancer, that were not supposed to live very long, and they get darshan or blessing, and they end up living many years later. Okay, so these are just endless stories I've heard of Amma. I say personally, it just kind of like when this is like over 10 years ago, and my niece was still little, and she used to be very like fidgety around me. And then after that blessing, it just changed. Like she reacted differently to me. It's like they're saying that every time a saint of any tradition, a realized master, if they look at you, if they give you a blessing, if they touch you, they're taking away negative energies from you, karma from you, so on. So hey, that was my experience. Not like how can a person not even sleep all night, hug people all night, and then still have that much energy? And as a first time participant, how is it possible I have that much energy? I don't know how can I drive 5 hours from Detroit to Chicago, not sleep, and for only have maybe close my eyes for 15-20 minutes, I was able to drive without that type of energy. Hey, so that's what my experience, and then that just led me to go down the path, because my chronic issues wasn't getting any better, because I did go see these healing teachers, spend a lot of money with the healing schools, systems, learn. It was making incremental improvements, but it was not like, it didn't like cure everything. I was still sick. All right. So um so so I'm talking about this is because I started going to like uh like Amma. I started spending time with her, and then I also met Amma Karunamayi, which is another saint. And some of you here may have met her already. Let me show you a picture of her. This is Amma Karunamayi. Okay, and she's actually here in the U.S. and she's like she's been here since June. She usually starts her tours in March, but hey, it's a huge blessing for her to be here. And she's here, and she's already made it to the West Coast already, and she is going to spend the remaining time. She just came to Chicago last weekend, and she's going to be in Woodstock, and then New York, New Jersey, and then Georgia. And so her website is called karunamayi.org. So why am I talking about, again, why am I talking about them? Is because if you want to, if you want a mantra from any of them, it's best to get a mantra from them directly, because they say that when you get a mantra, it's like from a realized master, you are connected directly to the source whenever you chant the mantra, and that will help you. Like, it's like a direct call, direct phone line, the bat line to the divine. So if you want to do that, you can certainly visit her and get a mantra. And what I'll show you the mantra she gives at her programs, and let me show you the mantra she gives. Okay, so this is the mantra card. I think some of you already met her, but I'll share the mantra card with you. It's like a little handheld card. Okay, so this is a little handheld card, and she gives it to you. This is just her picture. And so if anyone has a picture of a saint, any saint, they say look into their eyes. Even looking at their eyes for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, there's tremendous energy that comes through from their eyes of any saint. So whatever tradition that you're from, their eyes has a connection directly to the divine, and it could be really like helpful. Just even if you're stressed, if you're struggling with something, even looking into their eyes, you could just receive the blessing and connect to the divine. So this is the mantra card. That whenever you get a blessing from her, she gives you this card. Okay, so this is the Gayatri mantra. There's the Mrityunjaya mantra. Gayatri mantra is like a divine mother mantra. This is the Mrityunjaya mantra, which is also chanted by Buddhist traditions. Dalai Lama, I've heard like a chant by him chanting this. So if you're from a Buddhist tradition and this resonates, that resonates you, then you should maybe use the mantra card. And this is the Saraswati mantra. I'm Shreem Hreem. I'm Shreem Hreem. It's just four words, and then that's for the the intelligence, the goddess of intelligence and education. And so they were giving these mantras to even children because it helps them with their school, with their focus, and so on. So if any of this is interesting, even though I show you the mantras, these mantras are probably on YouTube, but if you get a direct contact from Amma or a realized master, it will significantly help you connect to the divine energies. um, if you are, if you're with other traditions, like I said, Buddhism or anything, or Islam, okay, there are mantras. There are mantras in everybody's tradition, okay? So it's just kind of like what the Hugging Amma have said, that is that if you start to chant mantras, it starts to reduce your thoughts over time. And like it's our thoughts connected to our emotions that is causing us a lot of pain and suffering. When we have too much thoughts, too much thinking, too much worrying, thoughts connected to negative emotions, that creates suffering. Okay, so Amma have said that, or the Hugging Amma, first time I heard of her, is saying it's gonna take some years to reduce your thoughts. It's not an overnight process or something like that. And I have to tell you a real interesting story. My wife is on the call. It's actually 4 a.m. for her, and she's when I told her about the Gayatri mantra, uh, um, she just didn't question it and chanted it. Okay, and I think why she was chanting it was because she was dealing with a lot of suffering. She was dealing with nightmares, and for I don't know, for months or maybe years, I don't know, because she came from a culture where I guess there was a lot of psychological abuse and all this stuff. She had nightmares, and then I think she chanted. I don't know, for Savinch, if you want to say something, feel free to say something. But I think she chanted for like 3 or 4 months, and then years of negativity, negative thoughts, nightmares were wiped out. Okay, from chanting the Gayatri mantra. Because let me share. You want to say anything, Savinch? It's early in the morning for you. If you want to say something, feel free to say something. Okay, and I want to show you this. If while I'm talking, did you want to say something?
No, it just helped me after I started around a few months.
Because you were having nightmares for how long? How long did you have those nightmares for? How many years?
From my childhood.
Okay, so Savinch started chanting a Gayatri mantra, I think at age 26 or 27, right? And I think you said that you from childhood, so that means for a good at least 20 some years, she had nightmares. There were significant, if I'm not going to go into the story of her life, but she had significant psychological abuse growing up. And so from chanting the mantras, after 4 months of chanting, like your nightmares went away, right? Like 3 or 4 months of chanting.
First it was going down and then slowly disappeared. And later I noticed I'm not seeing it anymore.
Right. So those were she just had nightmares of, like, I think, like men stalking her, and I think all kind of like things that it's just because of her upbringing that it was causing her a lot of suffering. So chanting the mantras will help you reduce your thoughts, reduce your negativities. Why did I tell to chant the Gayatri? Because when I read this book, it was so inspiring. This is the book. It's called The Secrets of the Gayatri Mantra. All right, you get it for $15 on Amma's bookstore, or you get it on Amazon. Amazon, for some reason, they're charging for $30 right now. So it's $15. It was so inspiring. It's talking about how we come to this lifetime. Can you see my screen? Yeah, can everybody see the screen with the maybe you can nod if you see the book, the Gayatri Mantra book. All right. So okay, so everybody can see, right? This is the book called the Gayatri Mantra. It changed my life. All right. So if you're resonating with what I'm saying right now, if you feel a little bit inspired, I want to check it out, you can spend the $15 in Amma's bookstore. This is Amma Karunamayi's bookstore. Get the Gayatri Mantra. And by reading it, you'll get, and actually, if you're sensitive to energy, you will get energy transmissions from reading the book. It's like so powerful. Okay. Hey, because I'm talking to an energy group here. So it's just like so powerful. So you know what? Another reason why when I was so inspired, because I was trying to do the fast track. All right. In the book, it says that if you chant it 1,008 times a day, you could potentially become self-realized in 1 year. But hey, you know what? It didn't happen to me. I'm not self-realized. I'm not talking to you as a self-realized teacher or anything like that. I'm talking to you that hey, I'm just on the journey like everybody else. Hey, it brought me a lot of happiness, probably a lot of inner peace. It helped me process through a lot of like emotional pain triggers. It was very difficult, like chanting it in the beginning. If you're learning how to chant it in the beginning, it's very difficult. It was difficult for me. It's like I'm like always tired or falling asleep, and because it's what they call. I mean, I'll go through this in another satsang. It'll go. It's gonna start removing these negative energies, like qualities. They call it in yoga, the tamasic energies, rajasic energies. Tamasic is like this laziness, tiredness, this type of energies, like heavy negative energies. So in the beginning, as you're chanting it, it's with any mantra, I think it has a similar power. The Gayatri mantra is known to be a mother mantra. Like a lot of the mantras comes from the Gayatri. Okay. So again, even though I love chanting the Gayatri, you know, like, hey, if you have a different flavor of mantras that you want to chant from whatever tradition that you're in, I think just by doing it, it's going to help you connect to a greater divine energy, divine power. And chanting 1,008 times can take like maybe 90 minutes to chant it. So what I'm telling everybody here is that if this somehow inspires do a little bit of chanting, you could chant whatever you want. Hey, if you can only chant for 5 minutes, do only 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, right? The mantra that the Hugging Amma gave me was very short. I could do it in like 2 minutes. It was a very short mantra. Gayatri mantra is longer. So again, oh yeah, hey, thanks for joining, Carol. Do you want to share anything? Feel free to. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you for allowing us to get together today. And I think that the topics that you're talking about are very important, and for those who have challenges in their life, like Paul said, whether it's health or financial, everyday, just getting out of bed on the right side of bed, that can be a challenge as well. These mantras are super wonderful. So just hear out what he says, and if you know, we have the good fortune to come across one of these beautiful saints, and they are in the spirit of giving us a mantra. Please, I would say, accept it and put it into your practice, in your spiritual practice, and you'll see how much it really expands your life and creates a shield of positivity around you.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much. Have a great night. Have a great morning, everyone.
Okay. See you next time. Okay. So, hey, you know, that's the inspiration. So I'm gonna actually play, show you another saint, and just by listening to him, what I'm trying to say is that whichever mantra that you resonate with, you can do, okay? And then our practices doesn't mean it's going to be your practices. In the spirit of what, like, you know, Karunamayi talks about, she says, Sanatana Dharma, the original intentions of, you know, if people think, okay, this is Hinduism, but don't look at it as Hinduism. Sanatana Dharma is that it's the original scriptures of the universe, which is to say, allow everybody to, Sanatana Dharma means eternal truth, which is allow everybody to connect to the divine in their own way. Okay, if your way is to, you know, connect to life, if your way to connect to life or connect to the divine or is through nature, connect through nature. If it's from chanting mantra, if it's the meditation, if it's for, there's other paths of spiritual realization. Whichever ways that resonate most with you, you just, you know, is to allow everybody to find their own way to connect to the divine. So that's the true meanings of like the original teachings, seems like from the East. It's a very loving and accepting of everybody that finds their own way. Okay, so and today we're just going to talk about just the mantra chanting, and also mantra chanting is so like helpful, because it could, if you're dealing with a huge stress or a trigger or negativity, by chanting it, you know, it will, like, it's like sitting, I don't know, it's like sitting in front of your source energy. It's a direct connection to it, and you could start to just release and let go of a lot of stuff. So I also want to bridge the topic here with, I think some of you got my books here. So if you got my books or are going through my practitioner's training, I want to just help you apply what you learn from an energetic standpoint and how you could use the mantras together. Okay, so let me show you the principles book. Some of you, this is my healing principles book. Yeah, so this is my healing principles book. It's on Amazon and on my website if you want some of you already have this. So I want to bridge the gap for people that that know my work, and then they can also apply chanting mantras. All right. If you have my book or gone to some of my trainings, you want to know how to learn. If you don't know how to do this, you should maybe want to learn how to do this either through me, or you could just learn on your own through YouTube or whatever, which is muscle testing, they call it. Muscle testing. Or what I do, we do it in a different way than what you learn it from YouTube or whatever. We have a more of an intuitive, energetic way to do it. Okay, so if you have a negative thought, all right, you could just chant your mantra, and then the energy of your negative thoughts or negative beliefs or whatever is held in different parts of the body. Okay, all right. So I'm not going to go into like a huge explanation of this. I just want to show the people that already is doing like our work or learning the work, that by chanting the mantras, okay, if there's anger or sadness that comes up, you could simply chant, you could simply look at this protocol and chant the mantras to help you release whatever negativity. The negativity could be anger, could be sadness, could be grief, could be sadness, because this is a chart that can help you detect what you're not conscious of. So when you're talking to the subconscious, the subconscious will say, hey, there's a deeper layer of, if you have a stressor, if you have a chronic pain, if you have whatever you're doing, this protocol will help you detect a deeper layer of suffering that you're not aware of. Okay, so it's like it helps train your intuition. So you can use your mantra chanting to release these types of negativities. Hold on 1 second here. Just want to okay, all right. Okay, that's all I wanted to share, that you can use this. Oh, another thing I want to share is that these are the principles here. Okay, so if you have some type of stressor or chronic issue or fear or something that's bothering you for a long time, okay, you in the East, right? They talk about we have in the West, they talk about, it's called conditioning, but the East, they call the conditioning karmas. And based on whatever karmas that you have, you learned it from your parents, you got it from other lifetimes, whatever it is, right? You're using your karmas create your thoughts, your mental disposition, how you relate to the world, how you react to the world. And if you're suffering, this is in our principles book for those that have this. Just wanted to show you how you would use it, right? If you have something like if you're struggling with life is giving you stress, and you're having difficulty accepting life as what is, all right? What you do is you have, I don't know, maybe it could be a boss, maybe it could be a family member, they're giving you a hard time and you have difficulty accepting the situation and your body's going through a lot of stress, okay? So your body is holding some type of conditioning or programming, maybe of accepting life as what is. So you can use the mantras to help you release the resistances to accepting life as what is, okay? This is for those that don't have this manual, this came out from working with a lot of different people based on their chronic issues, based on maybe if they're in difficult relationships, narcissistic relationships. Hey, they might be dealing with an issue of they might be stressed and it's connected to I'm not worthy. So the programs of I'm not worthy or I'm not enough is stored in the body. So when you chant your mantra and you have awareness that it's connected to these areas, you can chant the mantra to release these issues. Okay. How do we come up with all this stuff? It's because of chanting these mantras, of working through our own triggers and stuff like that. That's how we came up with this. So I'm telling you is that for those people that are going through that have learned some of the techniques from either my YouTube videos or from the trainings or from the practitioner or from the book, you can use mantras to help you process the conditioning. The conditioning, the karmas, is what makes up your thoughts. And then they say in the East, burning your karmas. If you burn your karmas, if you process your conditioning, then your thinking, your perception of the world changes. Okay, so I just want to make sure that those that are here, especially because you came to me because of energetics learnings or teachings, that there is a bridge, and this is the connection to it. Okay, and these principles here is like the synthesis of the last, I don't know, over 10 years of conditioning, of meditating and chanting and doing self-inquiry. Okay, so hey, I want to make sure that you know, for anyone that's living in a situation that they can't go and see Amma because Karunamayi this year, if you can't go to New York or New Jersey or Georgia, I'm going to play another some mantras for you and show you where you can access it. So by watching the YouTube videos from Sri Brahmam, you can have essentially a energy transmission or a initiation from him directly. Okay. So from the Eastern traditions, like myself, we're actually not supposed to be giving people mantras because they're saying that when a self-realized master teacher gives you a initiation, then it's like million times more powerful, and they will help guide you. So, but if you for some reason if you can't travel or you know you don't want to go or whatever the reason is, you can still get a connection to it and then see which mantra resonates with you. And again, from as I kept saying, if you have other traditions and you already got a mantra, like I said, if you're from Islam or if you're Native American, or if you're Christian or whatever, you got a mantra, use the mantra that you got. And you could use the same process that I'm talking about to find conditioning that's stuck in you, stuck in the body, and then release it and releasing them. So let me play a couple of mantras for you to see if it resonates with you, and then hey, you could use that mantra or use anything else. Okay, so let me share the screen again. Okay, so this is Sri Brahmam. Okay, he's one of the teachers that I met at Tiruvannamalai, India. He focuses different teachers, different self-realized masters focus on different areas. He is specifically focused on self-inquiry. For the path of self-inquiry, self-inquiry is they say the most direct path for self-realization. Okay. I have another video here that I did for our that I can upload that I cover self-inquiry, but maybe next time I'll cover it more depth, because this time I only want to cover mantras, because mantra chanting is one path of realization, self-inquiry is another path. But it typically is that when your mind is busy with lots of thoughts and emotions, and it's difficult to do self-inquiry. Like if we're working with people in our sessions, if their pain level or trigger is like a 8 or a 9 or a 10, it's very painful. You actually have to work to get the issues down from, like, say 0 is complete peace, 10 is the highest stress or pain. You want to get the your thoughts or your triggers or your reactions down to under a 3, then self-inquiry works really well. But if you're still very stressed, it's difficult to do self-inquiry. So you can actually do chanting of a mantra to get the stress down, and then later, if you know how to do inquiry, you could do inquiry. So I'm gonna play some mantras here, so you could see, and you could go onto his website here for Sri Brahmam, and listen to it. And if you can't, he's a living self-realized master. He got realized at the age 27. So let me just play some mantras here, and you could listen. You could go into these are the short clips that that just came from a recent satsang. Okay, so this is a Namah Shivaya mantra. So you could just play it.
So we say Om Shiva Om Shiva Om Shiva Om Shiva Om Shiva.
Okay, so this is one of the mantras here, Om Namah Shivaya. Okay, if you look at Shiva, you think that there's some type of god with a snake on his top of head. From a Sanskrit, from a self-realization teaching, Shiva just means the self. Okay, it just means like the self is always connected to you. It's the self. Okay, Shiva means the self. Okay, so so yeah, if you know, to chant the mantra 108 times here, it only takes like 3 minutes. Okay, so if you want to chant, right, you can actually get what they call mala beads here. Like these are 108. Okay, different malas that you could just use to chant. Okay, this is a rosewood. You could get this either from like Amma's bookstore. This is Amma Karunamayi's bookstore, and they could ship it to you, or you could go on Amazon and you could get. But if you want to chant the Om Namah Shivaya, okay, you know, this is called the Rudraksha. So this is for, you know, Om Namah Shivaya. It's good for, this is not 108, but these are 108. Yeah, you could just go on online Amazon and just order it. So I'll just show you show you the Gayatri mantra. If you resonate with that, you could chant that. Okay, so let me see, where is that?
Goddess. Om Bhurbhuvaः Swaha Tatsavitarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Goddess mantra. Om Bhurbhuvaः Swaha Tatsavitarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvaः Swaha Tatsavitarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat.
Okay, so if you guys want to chant any of these, all right, then just go into his website and watch his videos, and then that can give you an energetic initiation. So and let me see. There's like, you might even have heard these mantras before. I mean, this is for, like, as I said, Shiva mantras. The Om Namah Shivaya is like connection to the self. Hey, some people like to chant Vishnu mantras. This is a Vishnu mantra.
Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya.
Okay, so that's, so this is the Sri Brahman, Bahman, his YouTube channel. There's a lot of like short videos here, and you can watch like his explanation of doing the mantras here. All right, and he was saying that, like, before he got realized, he was chanting probably mantras for even 10 years, and like it just, he's like, when all your thoughts and everything is cleared, you're like there's no mind. I'm probably gonna invite him to a satsang, and I'll give you his background stories next time when I do the next satsang. assuming, hey, that you guys all got value and you guys are interested, I'll do more of these, possibly more than once a month. But if there's not a huge interest, we might just do only once a month. Okay. We just love this stuff. So that's why, like, based on your feedback, hey, if you guys saw anything interesting or helpful, go into the chat box now and just write a couple of things, and then let us know what your thoughts are. We're getting close to the end of the hour here. Oh, I wanted to actually ask people if you guys, some of you just came from me on Facebook, and some of you are actually on my email list. And sometimes our emails or even Facebook doesn't get to everybody. So if you want to, okay, go into the chat box here and just, we're probably we might try to do either a WhatsApp or a Telegram group. That means that if you're interested in this type of stuff, you won't miss anything. So be sure to put your, if you want to, put your information, your phone number on, or even if you're not on my email, all right, then put your email there, your email in your phone, so then we could probably either add you to WhatsApp or Telegram. So another thing that is, hey, since this is not a healing session call, if you guys want to come do my next group healing, that's coming up next weekend and on Saturday at 9 a.m. September August 27th, 9 a.m. And then we also have a practitioner's training coming up too. It's 9-week practitioner's training. So if you're also interested in that, contact me or leave your information, and then we can schedule a later follow-up call. Yeah, so the next satsang that we'll do, we're probably gonna talk about Sri Brahman and self-inquiry. And then, you know, if we're lucky, we might be able to get him, if his schedule is open, we might be able to get him to do a satsang for us with a real living self-realized master. I'm checking the chat box here. Oh, cool. Hey, thanks for sharing. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Don. Hey, anybody have a question? If you have a question, I got about 8 more minutes, and I do have to prepare for my next meeting that's coming up. I'm happy to take maybe 1 or 2, probably maybe 1 question. If anybody have a question, that's how I mainly want to cover. Let's see, let me turn this off. Anybody have anything you want to ask or share before we end the call? We could unmute you or whatever. Okay. Nobody has a question, or is it because I muted everybody and you can't ask a question? I don't know how, you could raise your hand, I think, right? If you want to ask something. Sorry, I think I got muted. Hey, I was just saying that if anybody have a last question, I got about 5 minutes left. I'm happy to answer your questions here. Yeah. Alonzo said that he has lots of pain, can't sleep, unfortunate events. Yes, the mantras can help. See which mantra resonates with you. You know, like chant some mantras. I would say don't expect the mantra to like don't expect the mantra to like take away all your pains and all this in a just from chanting it from one time. But like I said, my wife, if you join a call late, go back and re-listen to it, because I talked about how Savinch from young age for maybe 20 some years had nightmares, abuse, traumas, you know, for I don't know 20 some years, and after chanting after 4 months, like it shifted all of that. So it could be incredibly life-changing if you chant the mantra. Is there a way to raise hands here? I think you could raise your hand. And then I could take one last question and then I need to go. Or I could just answer the chat box here. Let me just see if anybody has how do I? Hey, Savinch, is there a way to unmute everybody?
Okay. Linda is asking, is just listening helpful? Listening to the mantra.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Karunamayi actually has mantras that you could just get called a healing mantra, Mrityunjaya mantra. And then let me see if I can find it. Might not be able to find it because I wasn't prepared to do that. The mantras. It's on our website. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe I don't know if I could find it in this short time because I wasn't prepared. Yeah, listening to mantras is very helpful. You know that mantra card I showed you earlier? This is a healing mantra that even like the Mrityun, let me share screen real quickly. Okay, so this is a Mrityunjaya. This is actually known as a healing mantra. But for us, our experience is that all the mantras have healing powers. But the Mrityunjaya mantra is specifically for a healing mantra. I mean, like I think it's still very powerful. Like I said earlier in the call, that even the Dalai Lama chants it or encourages people to chant this, and even Buddhists and Zen traditions, they chant this. So you can chant that. But from our standpoint, it's our thoughts, our negative thoughts, our negative emotions. All these things create your are connected to your belief systems, all that. If you chant like any mantra, but we love chanting the Gayatri mantra. Okay, so if you chant that, that will help you reduce your thoughts, your negative emotions, and so on. So hey, the idea here is see what resonates with you, and then you could chant whatever you like to chant.